Hey folks, Kusumall Designs here, and this is part 13 of the Tamiya 1/32 scale F-16 Fighting Falcon build. So in the last video, I was showing you the new decals for the aircraft, as well as we started the weathering. So in this video here, I'm going to show you the finished weathering, as well as we're going to start talking about the diorama. I know in a few videos ago I showed you the diorama and how we started it. So this video is going to be a little more in depth on the process of the diorama. So let's just show off some of the work here. Now this side here wasn't really done in the last video. Now of course we still have the fuel tanks that we got to complete, but for the most part the weathering is complete. I do thank you for the kind comments in part 12 there, because at this point, right, you can either make it or break it with your model. So because as soon as you start putting this stuff down, like the colorings of or the discoloration I should say with the weathering, and you start slipping up a bit, your model can be ruined. I mean, you don't want to, this aircraft is still operational, I guess you can say, if it were real, and if you over weather it, you can almost guarantee it's an aircraft for the junkyard, so to speak. Now I'm not too sure how the lighting is going to be on your end, because the way the lights hit the diorama base here, it might be giving like a yellowish effect. So how it looks in person and then how it looks on camera might be a little different, but as I turn this here, so I'm still very happy with how this turned out as far as the weathering goes. Now we've seen this side quite a bit. I really like how it shines, like that shimmer. So okay, so moving on to the diorama portion of the build. So you see some figures here. Now for the most part, those figurines are from that set right there, that trumpeter set. I've been trying to find a decent set that would work, because I'm trying to simulate airmen from the U.S. Air Force, right? So this set here, now I've kind of manipulated the arms and switched out the legs, of the guys, right, as best I could. Now I changed the heads, of course. I had different sets of heads, and I think some of those heads are from World War II figures, right? Because those heads there were okay, but they didn't really quite suit what I'm looking for, because I'm looking for, of course, airmen. Now this is a 1/32 scale jet, and these are 1/35 scale figures, but they're very, very close, right? Because this guy here, this is from the Academy 1/32 scale F-16. So I really wanted this guy to be outside of the plane, because obviously this is not flight ready. So I didn't want a pilot that was stepping into a plane or sitting in the plane. I wanted a pilot figure that was kind of standing near the plane, that wasn't really getting ready to fly. So these figures are very, very close in size. Let's see here. So between the 1/32 and 1/35, they're very, very close. Let's see here. Right? So these figures are going to work just fine. Changing their heads out, I think is going to work perfect, because this guy here I'm going to have standing. The idea is for him, he's going to be standing right here. I'm going to have him working on something on the desk. Now there's a helmet right there. I'm going to have an oxygen mask. I actually cut out the face of the pilot right there in that helmet. So actually that helmet's been completely carved out, and I'm going to stick an oxygen mask with a hose right there, so that that way there's like a helmet sitting right there for decoration. That took a little while, obviously, to carve out the face right out of there. So I have an empty helmet, so that's going to work out great. And of course, I'm going to have base security right there. That was, that figure right there, the woman figure. that I actually can figure it out, and then right there. So I changed the arms out, and then of course I have an M4 right there. I'm going to strap that to his chest once I have all the pouches and whatnot. And of course I changed out the head. So once he's all done, he's going to be, you know, base security. And I actually had my friend at, right there, the FFSMC, make me some special decals. Now I'm going to leave a link in the description, and he's on eBay as well as he has his own website, and I'm sure if he doesn't have some on the ready, he'll be more than happy to make you some sets. He's got the blue as well as the green U.S. Air Force camo. But he was kind enough to make me some sets right here of the blue and the green. Now, of course, once we get these, you know, on the figures, they'll probably change color a little bit to be a little bit more true to life. But because no company out there makes them, these figures are going to be absolutely unique to my model. So that's awesome. Again, I'll leave a link in the description. I'll pause right there for you if you want to have a look there at his website. But I will leave links in the description. But I do thank you for making these for me. There's the blue ones. But he's got all sorts of decals from different countries and all the rest of it. So not just these ones here. But those are going to be, you know, very, very handy here. Especially for the diorama, because other than him, those don't exist. So to have them on my diorama is absolutely an honor. So that's the idea anyway. So he's going to be working there at that desk there. We have some security standing around. Maybe I'll have him, you know, talking to the pilot. And then these two guys here are going to be working on the engine in the back, which I have yet to build. And so we're going to have that back there somewhere. His arms, unfortunately, this figure here, the only way to configure his arms were like this, because he's the one carrying the box back there. That's the only way to do it. So I'm going to have him doing something special, either pulling some kind of cable or something. As we're this guy back here again, I changed his head out. Get the camera. You know, he'll be an easy one. You know, I can have him up right next to something, doing something. So the only tricky one is going to be that fella right there, having him, you know, either pulling, you know, on something or carrying something. But either way, those guys will be in the back working on the engine, which there's plenty of room to have it right here somewhere. And then that'll be the diorama. Now I do have a spill trailer that I ordered. Probably put it right here or over there somewhere. So it's all coming together fairly nice. I'm not too sure what else I could possibly add to the diorama here. It would have been cool to maybe have some, you know, some lights, you know, to simulate them working at night or something, just to add some light to my diorama. But you know, sometimes, you know, too much is too much, right? You know, more is less sometimes, but it's all coming together. I'm very happy with how this is turning out. So, you know, you guys be the judge. It's almost done. You know, the figures are going to take a little bit of time, but yeah, again, that set right there is the only set. I mean, I guess there are some aftermarket people out there that do make some Air Force unique figures out there to 1/32 scale. But once you start adding up the price of everything, I couldn't really justify spending, you know, the same amount on what it cost me for the model on 3 figures. So I guess the math. So especially when I can, you know, change these out for that price, or for less, I guess you could say. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling here. So please let me know what you think, and very happy with this so far. It's coming together really nice. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe as always, and I look forward to your comments. Thanks so much. Bye.